come on in. Hello. Yes, have a seat. So, what would you like to talk about today? I'm struggling with school, and I'm taking 5 classes this semester. I have a full-time job, not to mention all the other responsibilities that I have, like church and ministry and moving into my new home. So, school is the topic that I would like to discuss today. So, you seem to have more than a full plate with all your responsibilities. So I can see how you forgot. I know that with me, I also struggled with going to school full-time and having a full-time job. There was plenty of times I can remember there was things that I forgot as well. Well, it's not even the full plate that I have that I'm actually struggling with, or it's just my ethics class. So, because it's hard, because the teacher's hard, and the class isn't interesting. Hard? Yeah, so like, I had a test that was due on a Wednesday, and on the way to work, I thought to myself, I gotta get that test done. And then I went to work, and by the time I got off of work, I had to stay till like 6 p.m. and then I had to take somebody to the park. So by the time I got home, that test was the last thing on my mind. And I completely forgot. I forgot to take it, and so Thursday afternoon, I was just sitting there, and I was like, oh God, I forgot to take that test. So I emailed her, I reached out, and I asked her if I could submit it late, and she would not let me. And so now I have 2 zeros for both parts of that test, which brought me from an A to a failing grade. So that's where I'm at. Well, you seem disappointed. Yeah, I mean, like highly disappointed, because 1, I'm a perfectionist and I gotta have my A's. And 2, I mean, normally I'm really, really vigilant with dates and, making sure assignments are turned in on time. I really am an excellent student. But, in this case, I just forgot, and, I wasn't vigilant, and now I'm paying for it, and I'm not sure what's going to happen. So, it sounds like you're saying that you're afraid that you won't be able to recover your grade. Is that right? Yes, exactly. Yeah. Well, you have a lot on your plate, but I think that we can work through this issue. Well, I'm wondering if, I should withdraw the class so it doesn't affect my GPA. Well, are you receiving financial aid? Yes, I do receive financial aid. Yeah. Okay, so since you are receiving financial aid, I would recommend contacting the financial aid office before you make your decision. Right. Yeah. Well, I don't want to withdraw the class, but if I don't, I just have to see everything from here on out. Like, I would have to ace everything from here on out. And, who's to say that I will pass the final exam, Right. So what would it mean for you if you kept the class and you passed? Well, it would mean the world to me, because for 1, I overcame a very huge challenge, and 2, you said pass, but, I want to pass with an A. I just don't think, I'm not very confident that I can do that this time. So, I know that before you have talked passionately about the relationship that you have with God and how you draw strength from that relationship. So, would it be possible that in this challenge you could draw strength from that relationship and even maybe some direction about what to do? Well, yes, because his strength is made perfect in weakness, and I know that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And as far as direction, I do know that the Bible tells me that if I ask for wisdom, he will give it to me. So, I didn't even think about asking God for the wisdom to make this decision. So that is a good thing that I could do. Yes. Okay, yeah. So I know at the beginning of the session you seemed pretty frustrated and hopeless that you wouldn't be able to pass the class, but now it sounds like I'm maybe hearing you that you can do this, you can pass the class. Well, I mean, perhaps. I guess I just need to set my mind to it, but here's my thing. If I choose to keep the course, right? But what if I still fail? What if I choose to keep it and I still fail? Then my GPA will go down and my A streak will be gone. But yet if I withdraw, I may have to pay back, some money to financial aid, and I already had to make an appeal for financial aid to even receive it, because at the beginning of me starting this school again, I wasn't able to receive financial aid. I had to pay out of pocket because of my previous attempts at college where I failed miserably. I was disqualified. So on one hand, you want to keep the class, but on the other hand, you don't feel like you'll be able to pass. Yeah. That's why I am torn. I just wish I knew the outcome of what would happen if I did keep the class. Right. I know. Alright, well, I can provide you with some information on how to calculate your GPA, and maybe you can use that perhaps in making your decision about what to do. Okay. Yes. So here's what I would like for you to do, kind of as a homework assignment. So I would like for you to just write out a list of pros and cons on a sheet of paper or in a notebook about withdrawing the class versus not withdrawing the class, or keeping the course versus not keeping the course, and just write those out. Are you willing to give that a try? Yeah, I would be willing to give that a try. I mean, I realize that I've already actually just voiced some of those pros and cons, but getting it out on paper would really help. Okay, great. So we're about out of time, but I want to make sure that I've heard everything correctly. So when you come in here today, you were really disappointed, and you were afraid that you can't recover the grade, in your ethics class because of a test that you forgot to submit. And so it now has you left wondering if maybe you should withdraw when you're just kind of unsure of what to do. Does that sound about right? Yep, exactly. But, maybe writing, like I said, writing these things out, it'll help me come to a more solidified decision and, to be more sure of what to do. Plus, I can use the information that you gave me about the calculating the GPA and how that would affect me if I were to even fail. And then I think talking to financial aid is going to be key, definitely, in my decision, depending on what they say. So I'll everything that you suggested, I'm going to do. So and then I'll be able to come to a solid decision. So next session, we can maybe talk about what decision you came to and how it turned out. Does that sound good? Yeah, so next week I'll let you know how things panned out. All right. Thanks. All right, bye.